1 second you're planning your next move on the board, and the next. Chess is a game that requires immense brain power through analytical thinking, calculating possible moves, and billions of positions across the board. All of this can cause a heavy load on the brain that some players just couldn't handle. These 5 players met their fate doing what they enjoy most in the world, playing chess. And in this video, we will be looking at the reasons and what actually happened. You're probably familiar with number 5, Bobby Fischer. But first, we have none other than Emery Tate, father of the Tates. When Emery Tate was alive, he participated in multiple chess tournaments worldwide. He was brilliant at the game and constantly defeated grandmasters. Tate's highest FIDE rating was 2,413 on the October 26 rating list, which made him the 72nd highest rated player in the United States and among the top 2,000 active players in the world. His peak USCF rating was 2,508 on December 30, 1996. He received the International Master title in 2007. Despite beating top chess players, he never earned the name of a chess grandmaster. His older son Andrew said, "I never saw him study chess books, ever. He also hated chess computers and never used them. He just sat down and played." On the 17th of October 2015, Emery was 56 years old and was scheduled to participate in the Sam Shackland Open chess tournament in California. Emery was used to winning chess tournaments, so he definitely had high hopes on winning this one. After the first round of the game, he went to the restroom. When he returned to his seat, he asked one of his colleagues to call 911, and suddenly, Emery collapsed on the floor in the middle of the chess tournament. After receiving first aid, he was taken to a local hospital and eventually passed away due to a heart attack. Chess can cause high pressure in the brain sometimes and lead to serious injuries, much like our next player, Jose Capablanca. Capablanca was world chess champion from 1921 till 1927, and he is considered one of the best chess players in history. His exceptional skills and speed of play in the endgame made him one of the most renowned and talked about chess players. His lifestyle was certainly one to be talked about. It has been said that the man was pure talent. He never worked, never read any chess books, never trained, and spent his life with the best-looking girls, smoking cigar and playing poker. On the 9th of March 1942, the day started for Capablanca just like any other day. He went to his favorite chess club, the Manhattan Chess Club, to spend some time playing chess. This club was considered home by Capablanca, as he loved spending his time there very much. But little did he know, this would be the place he would leave the earth. Like always, Capablanca was watching a chess game going on in front of him, analyzing the position and the direction the game was going. Suddenly, there was a pause. He asked for aid to remove his coat. High blood pressure was taking its toll and he collapsed to the ground. Capablanca was announced dead that day due to an artery in his brain bursting because of high blood pressure. A sad day in the world of chess. But he died doing what he loved the most with no control over the situation. But this next player could have prevented this event if he was a bit more cautious. Mikhail Tal. He was a Soviet Latvian chess player and the 8th world chess champion. He is considered a creative genius and is widely regarded as one of the most influential chess players. His play was known above all for improvisation and unpredictability. He also held the record for the longest unbeaten streak in competitive chess history with 95 games, winning 46 and drawing 49 games between 23rd of October 1973 and 16th of October 1974, until the Englerian streak of 100 games between 9th of August 2017 and 11 November 2018. His insane skills in chess, however, took a toll on his mental health and personal life. Tal led a bohemian life of chess playing, heavy drinking, and chain smoking, along with drug addiction. He executed masterpieces over the board under the influence of narcotics. It was like the drugs and alcohol fueled his chess skills and influenced his moves over the board that allowed him to defeat his opponents. And of course, being in that state, there was no reason for Tal to cut back on the usage, since it was helping him in chess. On the 28th of June 1992, aged 50 years old, looking like an 80-year-old man because of all the alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes, Tal was rushed to the hospital after collapsing in his home and eventually died in a hospital in Moscow of a hemorrhage in the esophagus. His friend and fellow Soviet grandmaster Jenna Sosonko reported that effectively his entire organism had ceased to function. This next player is one that really left a mark on the chess world. Every chess player uses his work daily without even knowing. Howard Stanton. Howard Stanton was an English chess master who was generally regarded as the world's strongest player from 1843 to 1851. The English Gambit opening and the Stanton Gambit opening were both named after him, as he always used them in his game and preferred them over other openings. However, this is not the most impactful thing Howard gave to the chess world. The Stanton design. Ever heard of it? Well, it's the standard chess set in all world chess tournaments and the most widely recognized chess set designs in the world. The journalist Nathaniel Cook is credited with the design on the patent. Howard preferred them over all other chess sets and spoke highly of the design so much that the set was eventually named after him. The first 500 sets were numbered and hand-signed by Stanton. Howard was more than just a chess player though. He was also a prominent writer, writing many chess books that became famous across the world and highly respected. However, on the 22nd of June 1874, he died doing just that. Howard was preparing to finish up his book, Chess, Theory and Practice. While putting on the final touches, Howard dropped to his desk in a sudden heart attack and died that day, likely due to stress of publishing his works. The book was eventually published in 1876. And finally, we have Bobby Fischer. What made him a great player also made him an impossible human being. This man needs no introduction, arguably one of the best chess players in the history of the game, and one of the most controversial figures as well. His life was filled with controversies and personal struggles that ultimately led to his tragic demise on January 17, 2008. Bobby Fischer displayed an unparalleled affinity for chess. By the age of 13, he was already a recognized chess prodigy, earning the title of the youngest ever United States chess champion in 1957. Fischer's most celebrated achievement came in 1972, when he faced off against Boris Spassky, the reigning world chess champion from the Soviet Union. This match would be known as the match of the century. This historic battle captured the world's attention during the height of the Cold War. Fischer's victory over Spassky marked the first time an American had claimed the World Chess Championship title, a monumental accomplishment that solidified his status as a chess legend. Despite his extraordinary success on the chessboard, Bobby Fischer's personal life was full of difficulties. He was known for his abrasive and often erratic behavior, which strained his relationship with friends, family, and the chess community. Fischer always believed that the chess establishment and tournament organizers were against him, which led to his withdrawal from competitive chess for nearly 2 decades. One of the most significant turning points in Fischer's life was his decision not to defend the World Chess Championship title in 1975. His demands for the match's conditions were deemed unreasonable by the World Chess Federation, and when they were not met, Fischer forfeited the title to Anatoly Karpov, and this marked the beginning of his downfall. During this time, Fischer's mental health deteriorated, and he made increasingly controversial and anti-Semitic statements in public interviews. Bobby Fischer's life took a tragic turn when, on July 13, 2004, he was arrested in Japan for using a revoked United States passport. This arrest set off a series of events that eventually led to his deportation to the United States, where he faced charges related to his match in Yugoslavia in 1992. Fischer's legal battles and the threat of imprisonment weighed heavily on him. In the years that followed, Fischer's health rapidly deteriorated. He suffered from kidney cancer, which ultimately led to his death on January 17, 2008 at the age of 64. Fischer definitely left a huge mark on the chess world, not only with his brilliance, his incredible crazy story, but also the invention of Fischer random chess, a chess variant where the pieces are sorted randomly at the start of the game to remove all strategy and memorization from the game and only rely on strategic thinking and analysis. Now, chess may not have been the direct cause of death for these great players. Chess is a wonderful game that the whole world enjoys. It is rather the actions of these specific people, perhaps fueled by their will to become great chess players, that led to their sad ending. Make sure to watch other videos on this channel. I'm sure you would enjoy them as much as you enjoyed this one.